readiness to pursue the eradication of other diseases like polio and guinea worm. Like smallpox, COVID-19 is a defining challenge for public health. Like smallpox, it's a test of global solidarity. Like smallpox, COVID-19 is giving us an opportunity not only to fight a single disease, but to change the trajectory of global health and to build a healthier, safer, fairer world for everyone. To achieve universal health coverage, to achieve our dream from the establishment of WHO in 1940s, health for all. And I thank you. But before we move on to questions, Tariq, I would like to mention one small way we're commemorating the eradication of smallpox. When WHO's smallpox eradication campaign was launched in 1967, one of the ways countries raised awareness about smallpox was through postage stamps, when social media, Twitter, Facebook was not even in the horizon. To commemorate the 40th anniversary of smallpox eradication, the United Nations Postal Administration and WHO are releasing a commemorative postage stamp to recognize global solidarity in fighting smallpox. I especially want to thank my friend, Mr. Atul Kare, the United Nations Under-Secretary General for Operational Support, for making this commemorative stamp possible. Thank you again, Tariq, and back to you.
Dr. Maria Banquero, and we have Mr. Steve Solomon, who is WHO Principal and the Officer. We also like to thank
that cigarette smokers are less likely to be hospitalized with COVID-19. What do you make of these findings?
Thank you very much, George, for this question.
Thank you very much for the question. So we know the harms of tobacco are well known, and we know that millions of people die every year from the use of tobacco. COVID-19 is a respiratory illness, and smoking causes damage to the lungs. And there are a number of studies out there that have been published that have found that smoking leads to more severe disease, the development of severe disease, and puts people at higher risk for being put on a ventilator, being in ICU, and for dying. There are some studies, there are some media reports of some studies, 2 studies in particular, that have not been peer-reviewed, that have looked at the prevalence of smoking in people who've been hospitalized and not. These studies did not evaluate, they were not designed to evaluate whether smoking was protective or not, or in any shape or form. And they do not say that smoking is protective. We do know, I will repeat that we know the harms of smoking, and we know that smokers, if they do get infected with COVID-19, have a higher risk of severe disease and death.
On the phone, Gracia, if you could just unmute yourself. Hello?
Sí, buenos días. La pregunta es, ¿cuáles son o qué es lo que se ha visto entre las consecuencias de reactivar las economías y cuál ha sido el comportamiento de los contagios en estos países que ya lo han hecho? La pregunta es, ¿cuál ha sido la experiencia o qué es lo que han visto en países en donde se ha reactivado la economía? ¿Cuál ha sido el comportamiento de los contagios?
And so we're just beginning to see now a number of countries that are opening up their economies after having shown that they are able to suppress transmission. The countries that are further along in this are countries across Asia. And we do see that countries like China, Japan, Korea, Singapore have lifted some of these public health and social measures in a slow and a controlled way. In some countries, they have seen a resurgence in cases, meaning that they've seen some outbreaks. And in Japan and in Singapore, for example, they've seen outbreaks that are taking place in certain situations. Singapore right now is dealing with outbreaks in expat dormitories and dormitories where people live in close proximity to one another. And they just shared a presentation